Hey guys, welcome to my third video, and in this video we're gonna start working with the graphics, and we're gonna learn how to start interacting with the application or the graphics that are in the application, which is the cool stuff. So you can pretty much say the cool stuff has started from now on. We're gonna discuss how to use events, and we're gonna discuss what properties are. Of course, we'll discuss them briefly, like always. So to start with, let's talk about properties. Everything has properties, right? For example, the color of your monitor screen that you're looking at, if it's a laptop, let's say it has a color, right? It has a size of the screen, all of the properties. So the size is a property, the color is a property, and stuff like that. So in this Flash, or in any other project development environment, let's consider Flash for example. We could talk about a square. A square can have its length, it can have its width, its x and y position in the coordinate system, it can have its size, a transparency, rotation, and stuff like that. All of these things are properties of all the objects. Not all the objects have properties like this, and we can use the tools panel in the settings here in the Flash to adjust or set these properties, or we could dynamically use code or ActionScript 3 to change these properties, or to let the user do these changes during the application or the game. So for example, if we create something here, let's say create a square or a rectangle, and then we select it. When we select it, you'll see this properties panel. You can set these properties. You can change the style of these outlines. You can increase the width or the height, and you can change its color. All of these are properties, and you can change its rotation like this, and you can also change the alpha of it from here. But this is using the tools panel. We can of course use the code to adjust the properties of any object we want, and we will discuss this more in the future videos. You will understand what I mean when we actually use it with the code. So that's it for the properties. Now let's talk about the events, the main thing. Events are basically the biggest thing in Flash. They make the most of the world of Flash. Events are actions. Without events, nothing can be executed. You cannot use the mouse click or the keyboard buttons or the stage resizing, or you cannot play videos, you cannot make things stop, or you cannot make things move. You cannot really do anything without events. So events are really important to learn because they will make most of the project that you're working on. Events, we'll discuss mouse events in this video mostly, but in the future videos we'll discuss other events, and you'll understand, you'll learn along the way. So let's start with mouse events. There are around 4 or 5 events related to mouse. There's mouse down, mouse up, there's mouse move, there's double click, and there is mouse out. Yes, there's mouse out. So there are around 5 or 6 events related to mouse. We'll discuss mouse down and mouse up in this video. So to demonstrate how events and event listeners work, let's create something on the stage. Let's create a square. Let's get rid of the outline. So let's create a rectangle and convert it to movie clip. Movie clips are, well, the movie clips are things in Flash that can have animations in them, but that's not really the exact explanation. You can say that to make buttons, you have to convert your graphics to movie clips first and then use them. Then you can give them a name, the movie clips, and then you can use those to communicate with the code, the ActionScript 3. So select whatever you drew on the stage and then convert it to movie clip. To convert the movie clip, you can go to modify and convert to symbol, and then from there you can just select movie clip and press OK. Now click on the object you just created, the movie clip that you just created, and you will see this this properties panel. You can change the name, which says instance name. This is the name of the movie clip, so you can call it my button. You can call it anything you want, keeping in mind the rules. You cannot use spaces. Well, basically same rules as naming the variable apply here. So you've named your button, then select the button again, make sure everything is right. If you want to adjust width and height or anything, you just do so. Yes, now go to actions panel by clicking on this tab. In the actions panel, what you can do to communicate with this button is you would add an event listener. Event listeners listen to events. So in here you want to create an event, right? Let's say you want to create an event for mouse down. That is an event. Now you will also need an event listener that will listen to that event, the mouse down event. After that event is triggered and the event listener detects that event, the event listener will call a specific function, and the function will have the code that you want it to run. Let me show you how to do that. So type the name of the button, my button dot, you start by saying add event listener, and then in the brackets you say for mouse events you have to tell the compiler where to go. You have to tell the compiler what kind of event you're adding the event listener for. So in this case I'm using the mouse event. So mouse event is a class. Inside that there's an event called mouse down. Now I'm listening to the mouse down event. This amount of code that you see on the screen, it simply means that the my button, when the mouse button is down on the my button object, then this event listener is triggered and it listens to this mouse down event. So when this event occurs, when this event is detected by this event listener, we want to call a specific function. We want something to happen. So we have to call a function because we have discussed what functions are, and if you don't know what functions are, watch my first video. So right here after this comma we have to give the name of the function that we want to call. You can call it anything. Let's say do something. Let's call it do something, and then close the parentheses and the semicolon. This statement ends here. So let me say it again. Let me explain what we did once again. My button is the object that we created on the stage. This one right here. You can see the name my button. So my button dot. Now we are creating add event listener, which means we are creating a listener on this object. Now this listener is an event listener which listens to event. What kind of event does it listen to? It listens to the mouse down event. So whenever we mouse down on this object, this event listener will detect this event and call this function, which is do something. Now if we run this movie clip, now if we run this movie, we'll get an error because the do something function does not exist, which means we have to define that function. So go ahead and do that. Function do something. It belongs to an event. This is the name EVT. You can call it anything. Then you have to tell it the name of the event, which is the mouse event, and then you have to give it a return data type, which is void. We don't want it to return anything. Now here you can do anything, write anything. Whatever you write in these two curly brackets will happen, will be executed if the mouse is down on that function. So let's just trace something here, anything, let's say my button clicked. Now if you run this movie, click, you can see it's working. I'm clicking here and it's working. Now this was for mouse down. Of course there's event called click. There's event called click, there's event mouse up, double click, middle mouse down, middle mouse up. There are actually a lot of events related to just mouse. I haven't really used these, much of these. I mostly use mouse down, mouse up, mouse click, double click, and those. So the point is that there are many events. There are thousands of events, but of course it is impractical to discuss them all of them right in this video. Of course we will discuss them in the future videos, like always. As we need them, we will discuss them, but the point of this video is to give you a concept of event listeners, what they are and how they work and how you use them, so that in the future, no matter what kind of events we're using, you should understand easily how to use them, how they're working, and everything that goes behind event listeners. So I think that is enough for this video. This pretty much explains what event listeners are. And like always, thanks for watching my video. If you like it, share it with your friends, and see you in the next video.